Today we want to look at the real estate investor. This is not just a person who wants to buy a house, but a person who wants to buy with the intent to invest. And we do hope that today we'll be able to really make a great impact on your mind. A real estate investor is a person. What is a real estate investor? In the beginning of our teaching today, uh, we might just uh, we might just take you briefly through some definitions before we go into full details. A real estate investor is a person uh, who acquires homes, land, or other dwelling spaces to make a profit. So, not just a regular person who buys with the intent to live in. And therefore, the attitude, the behavior of an investor is different from a person who's buying to live in. A good number of people, when they enter a house they want to buy, the first thing they do is go to the place that used to attract them the most. Most women go to the kitchen. Oh, I love the kitchen. Look at the table. And in real estate investment, you got to be very careful not to get over involved emotionally and begin to say, oh, I don't like the work table. I don't like the top of the kitchen. I want them to change it to marble. You shoot up the cost of fixing the place and you reduce your own profit. It depends on the target market. Similar to other forms of investing, this person supplies the needed capital for ownership, group ownership, or group management of a real estate property. In other words, anybody who is into this, they take out money to buy. This person may be an entrepreneur, people whose entrepreneurial skill is in the area of real estate. It could be skilled tradesman or a professional investor. Depending on a person's skill set, investing intention, and financing options, they may choose to invest in real estate in one or more different ways. Please do not forget, real estate is a whole experience in itself, and unless one has the time, the skill, capacity, ability, desire, you should probably just stay in the realm of just buying or building your own house and stay there. Because so many aspects of any of them you choose could stress. If it's office, warehousing, housing, family units, terrace houses, villas, apartments, whatever you choose. A real estate investor is a professional who makes a profit by acquiring homes and other properties. Investing in real estate can help you diversify your portfolio and earn supplemental or full-time income. In other words, instead of having your money stuck in one place, real estate helps you to diversify into a new zone, the zone of real estate. And even in real estate, there are different levels, different areas. And it could bring in supplemental earnings so that you are working, you're a staff somewhere, but you have rents you are collecting on properties. Or it could be a full time thing. There are people whom at a point after the number of houses have increased, they decided to make it a job they do professionally. They watch, they take care of the houses. Although that may have its downsides if you are the one collecting your own rent, etc., etc., instead of using an agent. You start investing in real estate by securing financing, becoming a landlord, flipping houses, putting capital into more passive trusts. So there are various things that makes you to be an investor in real estate. Either that you went to secure finance to make it happen, or you became a landlord. Any which way it happened, either you bought a house or somebody left a house for you in an inheritance, or bought and gave you, or you are the kind who buys, repairs, flips in sale, buys old houses, puts them down, or repairs, flips, or putting capital into more passive trusts. For example, there are real estate trusts that are called REIT, REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. So in today's subject, we'll be looking at different areas of the subject. You will need to have a message you share that is develop a unique value proposition on crowd persuasion message that resonates with your target audience. In other words, if you want to sell a house, the message you should put together. I want to give you a pre-C of all we are going to cover under this subject. So crafting your message, how do you sell? Because some people are not selling while others are selling, and they wonder why are these people selling and we are not selling. Then what are the indices of a beautiful home? You need to know about 19 or 20 things make a house stand out. You need to develop the message for that. Then you need to know the professionals involved in real estate. Who are the various professionals? Who is a surveyor? Who is a quantity surveyor? Who is a land surveyor? Who is what is the role of a lawyer, etc., etc. Then you need to know the tips for super success in the real estate business. What are the tips if you want to really be successful in real estate? Then you need to know what we have called the caveat emptor. Caveat emptor is a word they often use, which actually means, I think you need to go one slide backwards or something. Caveat emptor basically means buyer beware. You need to know all the rules when buying land, when buying houses, the care area, the hot spots, which people tend to sometimes overlook. You need to know the rules. So that's what we mean by buyer beware. It's just a title I'm using for that whole area. Then you need to understand land measurements, square meters, square feet. If they say a house is a 5,000 or 3,000 square meter house, what do they mean? All right, so we now go. Let me just take you straight to our subject because we've already covered the introduction here. So let's start with the things you need to learn. The things you need to learn about real estate is slide 33 for the person who is putting it on. Number one, you need to learn about real estate and real estate investing. What's the difference? You need to know what real estate is all about and the difference between buying a house and investing. Because in investing, your drive, you see, look at me wherever you are. In real estate business, you are not there for anything else but to make it's an investment. It should make profit. And that's why clearly for some of you who are listening, who probably are in some third world like Nigeria, or you live here in the United Kingdom or in the US, in real estate investing, you don't buy where profit is going to be either slim or not likely. Let me give you an example. If you're a South African and you want to invest in real estate, you can't go to some very remote town somewhere in Mpumalanga or KwaZulu Natal, a village in KwaZulu Natal. The profit margin is going to be very tiny compared to Johannesburg, Cape Town, or all the other big towns. If you are from Ghana, you cannot want to make money in real estate. You left Accra, you left Kumasi, and you now went to some village somewhere in Bole Bole or Ho in the Volta region, or you went somewhere near Bolgatanga. The profit margin, the further you are away from demographic uh, surplus, the lesser your profit. What do we mean? Accra has uh, about 5 to 10 million people. Every day it's ever expanding. I've been flying into Accra since 1979. It's like it's really ever expanding. That tells you that the demographic life there is changing. There are also Ghanaians in the diaspora who want to buy. The first place they want is Accra, not buy a house in some village that's 3 hours from the city. But I've seen people also who, out of emotional attachment, they went to Europe from some small town somewhere. And the first place they went to pour good money into is some town nobody knows about. I remember a young man who wanted to build a hotel. Well, we're now about to go whole crusade there in the town of Ibadan. Now, if you own a house in Ibadan and it's a business, rent or value increase, Ibadan can only return your money in 12 to 14 years or probably longer. Whereas there are places in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, that will return your profit in 2 years. It's similar to London. Europe is a bit slower. Firstly, because a good number of cities in Europe are like between 1,000 and 2,000 years old. And so real estate is slow in growing in value, but when it does, it jumps. I've lived in London 40 years and I've seen the crazy jump. But those crazy jump didn't have boom, 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 boom. Sometimes there'll be a 3, 4 years lull, and then suddenly there'll be a rise. London is 2,000 years old, used to be called Londinium. So you find that if you want to do real estate, you must approach it that this is a business. This is nothing less than a business. You are in it for profit. And there are too many indices you must calculate before you can say it is profitable. Some people, they buy land, £100, they sold it £1,000. They think, oh my God, I gained £900. Hey, before you rejoice, you have not deducted your phone calls, tax, legal fees, etc. We're going to cover all that. Research investment strategies. In doing real estate business, you must have research investment strategy, a strategy for researching before you put your money. Number 3, you must research the location of the property. Some people just look at the beauty of a building. Number 3, please. They look at the beauty of a building. They have not researched the location. What's near it? Is there a school nearby? Or it's the middle of nowhere? No matter how much they put into a building, if it is in the middle of nowhere, it has reduced its value. Our church, Prayer City, KICC, obviously, we got it for the amount we got it because it's a beautiful 12 buildings, which they cut out for us. In fact, it used to be part of 220 acres. They cut out 24 acres for us. But there's no neighbor. Closest neighbor is Bluebells, and that's like 3-4 miles. So that reduces value, if you like it or not. Then it has other things that could increase its value, closeness to the motorway, blah, blah, blah. But you must research location. Number 4, you must determine your intended role as a property manager. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do when you are buying property? Number 5, you must act like a buyer. Whenever you are looking at a property, when you are studying a property, you must act like, okay, I am a buyer and I am looking at this property. I want to really, I want to, uh, I want to know what I should do. Number 6, you must, in order to do well, you need to shadow a seasoned real estate agent. Follow them. Study the trend, how properties increase in value. Many years ago, I will go for a walk and I'll stop at the real estate place and I'll be looking at the prices of all the buildings, how much, and you could see the way they are growing or increasing in value or not increasing. You need to shadow a seasoned real estate agent if you are going to do property. You can't pluck value out of the air. One of the reasons for shadowing a real estate agent is you need to know how they work, how to not buy a property too expensive. Oftentimes, I find that when people are about to buy a property, by the time they are talking to you, they've agreed an amount that is too high. And if you remember, in this wealth masterclass, we have taught you never buy property at its truest value. There must be some degree of favor shown you. Even if it meant that the house is really worth £40,000, you should get it for 38. So that there is equity from day one. That's the reason. There's equity from day one. There's favor for you. So it means even you're on the strong side. Rarely should you ever buy a property that is overpriced. And even why would you buy it overpriced? The only reason you should buy overpriced is probably because you want to use it for something and you can't wait for it to gain value. Other than that, never buy overpriced. Number 8, build your social network. Number 7, ask your previous clients for referrals. Now remember, we're talking now on how to really be a strong real estate person. You need to ask for referrals from people who have bought from you. There is need. You see, repeat purchase is many times better than you can imagine. Persons who have had a good experience with you are likely to bring other clients. Number 8, ask your previous clients for referrals. In other words, bring people. Build your social networks. I beg your pardon. Build your social network. You cannot do real estate and do well if you have no social platform, no social network. That's why even people, if you're going to hire people to help you be marketers, you need to know what their capacity is. You don't need a person who's just bland, just coming out of school. They have never built any network. They came, they sat, you're paying them salary, and they are selling property. It's going to be very tedious and very hard. Depends on what kind of property you are selling. They don't have a network. It means, therefore, they didn't bring a net worth. If they don't have a network, they did not bring a net worth.